Yeah, Jake, I think what I'm hearing right now is that the winds are potentially getting dangerous and strong again. I believe the red flag warnings have been put back in place. And so I think the biggest thing that people need to know is that this is still dangerous, and they still need to make sure they're listening to their local officials so they can keep themselves safe. I know that so many people probably want to get back into the area and check on their homes, but with the winds picking back up, you never know which way they're going to go. And so they really need to pay attention, listen to what's going on so they don't get in harm's way. And our firefighters can continue to do the great work that they've been doing to try to contain this fire. It all depends on the weather, Jake. I mean, the firefighters they're working day in and day out. There's resources that are out there, but if the weather changes, it creates different conditions. It's going to change the environment with which they're operating under. Again, the most important piece is keeping them safe as they try to protect all the homes that are in the path of the fire. And then people need to, start the registration process with us. They can register for assistance. They need to contact their insurance company and find out what their insurance company is going to pay for. And really, we can start working with them on what this road to recovery is going to look like. I'll defer to the experts in California about what they were using and what impact that had. I do know that there were so many fire starts at the same time, and that it really did put a strain on the water system in the early hours and early days of this firefighting effort. But they know exactly what they had work with, and the investigation, I'm sure, will show additional information. I think the biggest thing is to still focus on the fact that we still have fires to put out, and that they're bringing in the resources necessary to help them do that. I'm always concerned about the fact that many of the insurance carriers are pulling out of the markets. These types of catastrophic risks, these fire risks, they are increasing. We're seeing the change coming from climate change, and we're seeing more significant severe weather events. That's what we're seeing here in California. Without insurance, people are not going to have the tools and the resources to help rebuild their lives. FEMA's programs can help jumpstart that recovery, but they're not there to rebuild their home. And so without insurance, we're going to have to bring in philanthropy. We're going to have to bring in our nonprofits. The Small Business Administration is going to have a critical role in helping these communities recover, but it's going to take all of us, if they don't have the insurance, to be able to help them rebuild. Well, I think what we have to do is look at what these new weather events are bringing, the severity that they're bringing, and think about what the future risk is going to continue to be. And as we have these tragedies, we also need to make sure that we're taking this as an opportunity to rebuild these communities in a way that's going to make them more resilient against these types of disasters. I talked about this all last year. FEMA had a year of resilience in trying to get people to understand what is it we do to protect these communities and reduce the impact. There are things that we can do, and those are the steps we're going to have to take to make sure that they don't have as much impact as we're seeing right now from these fires. Disasters, we need to make sure that they are never politicized, right? It doesn't matter if you are Democrat or Republican. These types of weather events, they do not discriminate. And so the women and men of FEMA are going to continue to work hard to make sure that we are continuing to support all of those people impacted. They will work through this transition like they have worked through every other presidential transition to deliver the services that people are eligible for and to make sure we're helping these communities recover.